These are the stories topping the news. Kariri and Kaffa to be invited to return to St. Kitts. Antigua and Barbuda government awaits word from TNT on car park funding, and Ebola death in Mali sparks panic. Good afternoon and welcome to ZIZ's Midday Newscast for Monday, October 27th, 2014. I am J. Keynes. Now the news in detail. Minister of Education, Senator the Honorable Nigel Carty, disclosed on Friday that 2 regional organizations will be invited to return to St. Kitts to continue finding a long-lasting solution to the problem at the Bastia High School. In a statement in the St. Kitts and Nevis National Assembly on Friday, Minister Carty noted that 3 years into the problem, officials of the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Health continued to meet with the Bastia High School staff to discuss their concerns. He also disclosed that the last recommendation of the nurses' report suggested that there was no specific trend of illness identified and that the nurses' monitoring should continue. At Thursday's meeting with the staff at Bastia High School, the Ministry of Education offered to expeditiously repair 2 other blocks where concerns over pests have been identified. Mr. Carty said, too, that $7 million has been spent on the school. The Minister of Finance, the Right Honorable Dr. Denzil Douglas, has also committed to ensuring that the funds are never a problem in addressing the school's issues. A travel ban, improved security at the nation's ports, and the outfitting of an Ebola treatment room at the airport are among initiatives of the Ministry of Health to help curb and prevent Ebola. Health Minister the Honorable Marcella Liebert said her ministry continues to train the nation's health workers who are in the front line. She said they are the most vulnerable. That was Health Minister the Honorable Marcella Liebert. Public Relations Officer for the St. Kitts Nevis 4-H group, Sonia Body, is currently in Seoul, South Korea, participating in the first Global 4-H Network Summit. The summit, which runs from October 27th to November 2nd, is celebrated under the theme Youth Harnessing the Power to Change the World, and is being held at the Seoul Olympic Parktel and Olympics Gymnastics Stadium. Hosted by the Korea 4-H organization, the week-long summit is expected to bring together participants from over 70 countries to engage in meaningful dialogue and activities that will strengthen the group's capacity. Ms. Body is excited about her participation in this summit and said it will create many benefits that the Federation's 4-H stands to reap. Ms. Sonia Body is also the current CARICOM Youth Ambassador for the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. We move now to news on the regional scene. Antigua and Barbuda's government is awaiting word from its Trinidadian counterparts as to whether that country will be able to provide financial assistance for the completion of Sunshine Hub Car Park. Chief of Staff Lionel Max Hurst said the Gaston Brown administration approached oil-rich country earlier this year, requesting the US $12 million needed to complete the multi-purpose facility. Construction on the multi-level car park facility started in 2005 under the United Progressive Party UPP administration. The project, which was halted in 2010 after the financiers CL Financial Group collapsed, continues to sit on Independence Drive without any forward movement. Hearst said it is the intention of the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party ABLP to complete the facility. Guyana's main opposition APNU is looking to get into a partnership with the government in order to step up safeguards against the Ebola virus. Here's more in this report.
A Partnership for National Unity Shadow Health Minister Dr. George Norton said before the end of the coming week the partnership would be formally writing President Donald Ramotar and offering its support in dealing with the deadly Ebola virus. Dr. Norton, who made the comment at the partnership's weekly press conference hosted at the office of the opposition leader, said enough is not being done to train healthcare professionals or sensitize the public on the virus. Dr. Norton, commenting on the ongoing training exercise, said several healthcare professionals have either dropped out of the training or signaled their intention to do so.
The facilitators might be or are qualified, US-based qualified persons, but we do have some little difficulties where persons are not encouraged to continue going to the training because we know it's masks, gloves, gongs, goggles, everything. But what they told me was that it's one going around 100 over 100 person, you know, and think about yourself having to, I mean, put on that same suit that everybody else was, yeah, you know, and the persons are saying openly, well, I'm going back.
He explained that in the accident and emergency ward, there are no such protective gear. APNU Member of Parliament Dr. Karen Cummins said while this is a training exercise, she hopes that efforts have been made to procure gear in the event that Ghana has to deal with the virus.
Internationally, the government of Mali says it is doing its best to try and contain the Ebola virus as the country's first victim, a toddler, is set to be buried. The 2-year-old girl traveled to Mali from Guinea, where the outbreak first began. Her death has sparked panic, and neighboring country Mauritania closed its border. Al Jazeera's Dominic Kane has the details.
Preparing to bury Mali's first Ebola victim. The grave these men are digging is for a 2-year-old girl who came here from Guinea. She had travelled on a bus with her grandmother while already showing frank symptoms of the disease. Until now, Mali had not been directly touched by the Ebola outbreak in West Africa.
The announcement of the first case of Ebola here hasn't been easy for the people, and the health workers panicked. This disease is new for everyone in the world, not just the people here.
The World Health Organization has warned that the little girl may have had high-risk contact with many people on her bus journey. Her grandmother is currently being kept in isolation. One of 43 people who've been identified and are being held for observation.
People weren't calm because of the gravity of the illness, but because we took precautions, particularly in terms of toilet hygiene. We've been able to keep all the children at home. None have gone to school. There was a little fear and worry everywhere, but although the person has died, thank God we know what precautions we have to take to isolate and make secure people.
News of the first Ebola case in Mali prompted neighbouring Mauritania to close its border. The UN has airlifted in a ton of medical supplies to help the authorities to try to deal with the problem. Dominic Kane, Al Jazeera.
A student has died after being injured in Friday's shooting at a high school in Marysville, Washington. She died at Providence Regional Medical Center, Everett, health officials said at a news conference on Sunday night. Dr. Joan Roberts read a statement from the teenager's family, which said in part, "We are devastated by this senseless tragedy." We hear more in this report.
Breaking overnight, a second victim, Gia Soriano, died as a result of her injuries suffered during Friday's shooting at this Washington high school. Her family devastated, releasing this statement.
Gia is our beautiful daughter, and words cannot express how much we will miss her.
This just hours after hundreds packing the bleachers of the Marysville Pilchuck Gymnasium. An emotional tribal song to mourn for a grieving community trying to heal.
Families are hurting really bad right now, looking for answers that might not exist for us.
Many still asking why this popular teenager would want to target his best friends and his own family. It was Friday morning when freshman Jalen Freiberg entered the cafeteria, walked up to a table where his two cousins were sitting with friends, and opened fire with a .40 caliber handgun.
He came up from behind and fired about 6 bullets into the backs of them.
3 others remain hospitalized in intensive care. Shaylee Chucklenasket and cousins Nate Hatch and Andrew Freiberg. The first victim, now identified as Zoe Galasso, remembered as a beautiful soul who always had a smile on her face.
She's so beautiful, and she was just so funny and amazing, and we all loved her so much.
Teacher Megan Silberberger now being hailed as a hero. Witnesses say the first-year social studies teacher ran toward gunfire and confronted the shooter.
She grabbed his arm, a hand on hand. It happens in seconds.
Moments later, Freiberg is dead of an apparent suicide. Exactly why this all happened is still unclear. The New York Daily News reporting that students say Jalen targeted the group after he was spurned by a love interest who chose one of his cousins over him. A friend of Zoe Galasso telling CNN that the victim was dating Andrew Freiberg, the shooter's cousin.
They were great friends. There's no explanation.
And now for the weather. Today we will experience sunny skies with winds blowing from the northeast at 6 miles per hour. Temperatures will reach a high of 30 degrees and a low of 24 degrees. Tonight we will see clear to partly cloudy skies with winds blowing from the east at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And that's it for ZIZ's Midday Newscast. Join us at 6:30 p.m. on radio and 7 p.m. on ZIZ Television Channel 5 when we present our major news package. I have been your presenter, JD Keynes. Have a great afternoon.